following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors and I'm your host. And tonight I got two very special guests. Yes, Dan and Bobby, the Beaulieu brothers.
Hey.
Guys, what's up?
What's up, Leo?
Dan had some surgery.
Yeah.
Nice to see you again, too. These guys are going to WrestleMania, guys.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to talk about that later. Guys, you guys just went to the Patriots parade.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, tell me about how was it? Because I didn't go. Because I took Monday off. And when I took Monday off, I never even thought about the parade. Because I could have taken Tuesday, too. I'd never even thought of it.
Oh, yeah. It was a great time. We got, what did we leave at, like 6:30?
6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, smart.
Took the train out of Lowell.
Yep.
Found a guy dressed as Hulk Hogan right off the bat.
I saw that.
Yeah, we got down to City Hall area. And then we found, what was the bar that we found there?
Beantown.
Oh, okay,
Beantown
yeah.
Pub. And yeah, oh my goodness. It
Yeah.
was just a great
You guys
time.
look like you're in a good spot for them, too.
Yeah.
So this is my 5th time going to a parade,
Yeah.
right? And I've never gotten it right. I feel like this time I got it right.
Yeah.
Because I was in the right spot. I could actually get to the bar, and that's only happened one other time I went to the Bruins, and
Right.
it's it's
That's-
magical. It's like partying with a million of your
Isn't it
best
crazy?
friends. Yeah.
Yeah, because I went to the Sox ones in 2004, 2007, 2013, and I didn't go to the last one. I tried to. I told my girl, we got to leave early. That's why I said it was smart that you left early. She said, oh, we'll leave around 9. I'm like,
saw
you
that.
can't
Yeah,
leave
yeah,
at
yeah.
9.
Yeah.
We couldn't even find a parking spot.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not going to fight the train and try to get in there. You're going to be 30 rows back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we went all the way to Boston and drove around and went home. She ended up going to work, and I was
Oh,
pissed.
man. Yeah.
I wouldn't even talk to her the whole ride home.
Oh, yeah.
I'm serious.
By 8 a.m. though, like the
Yeah.
trains are already blowing past exits. So like
Yeah.
we got on Lowell, it's the first stop, and
Right.
they weren't stopping. It was
Oh, really?
All the
Because you
way to
guys are already
Boston.
full, right?
they were
Yeah.
already full, so no one could get on. So and if you're trying to drive in during a workday
Yeah.
in Boston,
It's ridiculous.
Good luck with that.
And there's something to be said about having about 6 beers before it's even noon. They set you pretty quick. But yeah, we were right on top of people. We started Gronk dancing.
Yeah. By the time he gets to you, was he shirtless?
Oh yeah,
He was shirtless, huh? Because
yeah.
you guys were near the end then?
Yeah, he was dancing to "Never Gonna Give You Up."
Nah,
Never Gonna-
little
we were
Rick Astley.
we were all going crazy.
That's so cool.
Yeah, those parades. I mean, that was my 4th. I've been to 2 Red Sox and 2 Patriots, and they're just
They're magical.
Yeah.
Like you said, they are, man. They're so much fun.
yeah. We're really. I posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
I said, "Thank God I was born in New England."
oh
Yeah.
yeah, right.
My daughter's 17 years old, and she's seen like 9 or 10 championships.
It's crazy.
You know, that is crazy because I was a 5-year-old kid when the Bruins won in 70, and I was 7 in 72. I remember the 72 one,
Yeah.
but I mean, obviously I didn't go to a parade. Nobody in my family was really into sports, not even my brother.
Yeah.
It was always just me. But yeah, parades are so much fun.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a real quick story. I went down with my friend Gene and my friend Sean Wiggins. What's up, Hanson? Ref Hanson from Jersey All Pro, House of Hardcore. He always came up for all the parades, and we're standing there. And was it Manny or Poppy? One of them was in a big conversation, animated, and the other one looked over at me. And like people tell me I look like Mike Lowell. And I never thought of it, but I do have a picture that I literally see me, not Mike Lowell, that I found on the internet. So as we're standing, I guess one of them, Hanson told me this, one of them trying to tell the other kid, pointing at me, like to say, look at it's like Mike Lowell, look at him. But by the time he got his attention, they were like 20 yards down. He looked back, Sean said, but like, what can you do then?
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. And he kept saying it. I'm telling you, man. Then there was a guy dressed as a gorilla with a Red Sox jersey on, and he walks by us. And then he backs up, looks at me. Ooh, and he starts doing it. It was hilarious because obviously he thought I looked like Mike Lowell.
That's awesome.
But that's just a little parade story. A lot of fun. I never did any drinking at the parade. I wish I did.
Yeah, it makes it. I'll tell you what. When you're confined like that,
Yeah.
sometimes you need a couple to.
Yeah. Well,
you know.
plus my buddy was going to be driving back to Jersey right after the parade, so I didn't think it was fair to go slamming beers.
Yeah.
The poor kid couldn't drink. But I'm glad you guys had a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Brady's
again.
been making the rounds. Edelman's been making the rounds. He shaved his
Yeah.
beard on Ellen
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah.
day. Him and Devin McCourty were on the Grammys last
Yeah, I
night.
saw that.
I didn't see it, but I saw the video afterwards.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Wow.
You know?
It's just one of those things. It just never gets.
Yeah.
This never gets old.
Yeah.
It never gets old.
Not this one, but the last one that they had won. Edelman and Belichick were on like Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know if you guys had
Yeah.
saw it.
Yeah, I've
So
seen that, yeah.
funny. I mean, Belichick was smiling and laughing. I was like, whoa, what's this?
Who's this guy?
Yeah, exactly. This is his brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, let's get into the fan questions because,
Sure.
like I was telling these guys off here, we're going to go through the AEW roster
Yeah.
and maybe even think of guys that they could sign to make their roster even better because it looks to me like they pretty much have unlimited money,
Right.
Yeah.
They do.
you know? So that's pretty amazing. But there's only a few, so we'll bang these right out. And I think your brother Mike's got a few questions.
Yes. Just a couple.
Yeah, I think a couple. Good friend Nathan Fuller
Yep.
wants to know, this is for the three of you, will Randy Orton leave WWE?
Want to go first?
No. Not a chance. Never.
What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Either only because the money he makes.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
You know, and if he leaves there, what's to stop those other guys from burying him in a way, not making him the top guy?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because then again, Randy never made a lot of friends backstage from the stories I've heard and things like that.
No, from what I understand, he's matured over the years.
I
but,
hope so.
Yeah, maybe he leaves. I don't think it'd be permanent.
Right.
If he
Yeah,
did.
and maybe it's just his gimmick, or maybe that's how he is. I don't think he really even cares anymore. Like
Right.
he's just like, okay, like just throw me whatever feud you want, and
Yeah.
I'll do it. It doesn't matter to me because I'm here for the paycheck, and I want to
Right.
do the arc out of nowhere so I can go viral again or something.
Yeah.
So
Isn't he great? I mean, honestly, he is phenomenal. I think he's a great wrestler.
Well, I think
One of the best.
I think if anything, what AEW is going to do is they may not compete with Vince, but they're going to drive up some prices on
Yeah.
Vince.
I agree. I definitely
know?
think that's going to happen. Nathan's got a second question. Sorry, guys. It's just for me because you guys weren't born yet. Leo, who's your favorite WWF 70s tag team? Well, it's a little, there's a bunch of them, Nathan. Mr. Fuji, Professor Tanaka, managed by the Wizard. The Blackjacks by Albano. The Valiant Brothers with Jimmy and Johnny, not Johnny and Jerry, with Captain Lou Albano. And for face tag teams, I like Tony Gurria and Haystacks Calhoun, and Tony Gurria and Dino, and Tony Gurria and Larry Zbyszko. I guess I'm a big fan of Tony Gurria. I guess I didn't realize how much of a fan I was of his until I wrote down this. JP Griffin wants to know, Dan, who did you beat to get that belt you had in that picture?
That belt's been through. I climbed all the 4,000
Yeah, I
footies in
know.
New Hampshire.
That's awesome.
Bobby's done the same.
Yeah?
We've climbed all 48. I didn't get it till a couple mountains in.
Right.
And then I just brought it with me every single one that I
I
went
think it's
on.
cool that you bring it everywhere.
I bring it to the Tough Rock every year. So that belt's a little busted, but I bring it to the parades,
Yeah,
you know,
you
too.
brought it to the Patriots parade.
You know, sometimes, I beat the mountains of New Hampshire for that belt.
Nice, nice.
You know.
And it's funny because, like, you see everyone that brings the real,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I kind of think that's more cool because
Yeah.
you got the toy belt.
yeah,
I mean,
it's a little lighter too.
It's not heavy.
No.
If you did break it, drop it,
Whatever.
and go spend $19 and get another one.
Exactly.
And if you don't get the sense of humor of a grown
Right.
grown man walking around with a toy belt,
Yeah. I like
then
that.
you've made the list.
Yes,
Exactly.
nice. Very good. Thanks, JP. Thank you, Nathan, too, also. You guys must know her because I don't. This is the first time this person's asked a question. Moira McCabe?
Oh, Mora, yeah.
Is it Mara or Moira?
Mora.
Okay. She
Mo.
spells it a little different than my friend Mara.
Yeah, biggest Eagles fan you'll ever meet. So we go
Let's
head
get
to
through this question quick.
We go-
Sorry, I'm just kidding.
we go head to head on Facebook
Do you
quite
really?
a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Is she from Philly?
She's from here, but her parents. She actually lives there now.
Okay.
And we've been going. Last the last Super Bowl. going
But
back
her
and forth.
family's from like
They're
Philly?
originally from
Okay.
there, yeah.
So she gets a pass on
Yeah.
that. You got a pass more on
Yeah.
that. But here's a question. How long does Tiny Pipes think it'll take him to get back to absolute savage mode? I had to do it like Jimmy.
Oh yeah. Well, obviously Jimmy Preston, one of the more entertaining people we've ever seen in the Indies.
Love to get him on here.
My alter ego is Tiny Pipes when it comes to the softball community of Nashua, Manchester area.
Right.
Everybody refers to me as that. So it just the whole story goes back because I like to flex with people. I'm not the biggest guy
I know
ever,
you said,
but
it's fun.
that's become my my alter ego. I'll cut a Jimmy Preston type promo on other teams. As far as that goes, when I'll be back on the field, you know, it's 6 weeks in this, 4 to 5 months of PT.
Yep.
Hopefully, I'll be playing softball. We'll see if I'm taking swings by the summer, but I can't throw until
You should
about
wait till
November.
next year.
I'm thinking 2020,
Yeah,
to be
2020.
honest with you, this summer, just
Yeah.
because it's serious.
Yeah.
You know, and playing softball, you're a righty to throw, right?
I'm not throwing. I won't
You know
throw.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just going to be tough for you this year, but you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
It's been a surreal thing because they win. I think I've had damage. I was a wrestler growing up, high
Right.
school wrestler, rugby player in college.
Yeah.
Done a lot of sports and weightlifter. And I think it's been torn for a while.
Right,
and then
right.
when I got hit in that flag football game, it just completely went. So I had a very deep tear of my rotator
You
cuff.
said there wasn't enough.
There wasn't enough tissue in my
God,
shoulder. They had to
that's
get
serious stuff.
so some from an organ donor,
Right.
which I am an organ donor, and
Nice.
I recommend everybody do that because
Absolutely.
you know what? Give back to this planet when you
Yep.
leave it. So they had to decide that mid-surgery.
Right.
And luckily I had my mom bring me who,
Yeah.
you know, it was a family
So
member.
she could
So
sign
she
it
could
away,
just
yeah.
say, do it while I was still out. So,
Right.
yeah, it's been surreal. Like I never really thought I'd get hurt like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Right.
You know,
But I think, like you're probably saying, 2020
2020 is more
probably is
likely.
more realistic. But again, you never know. You know, maybe you could play fall ball. Who knows?
that's what I'm hoping. I mean, I'm 34. I'm
First
not
base.
totally, you know, I'm going to work really hard to get back to it.
I'm sure you are.
so.
I believe that. Does my nephew call you Tiny Pipes? I'm sure he calls you a lot of worse
He
names.
calls me
than
a lot
that.
of names. When that name came around, Rich knew me before that became everybody knew me
Okay.
as that. But me and Rich love to go back and forth.
Yeah.
And I can say that I think my career record against Rich is in softball is like 80-1. I think he beat me once
Wow.
ever in his life.
Rich, what's up with that? Do you
He's-
know my nephew Rich?
I know
too?
Rich. Yeah,
Do
the,
ya?
Ri-
Oh,
the
yeah.
Rich and Dan feud will never die.
Isn't it awesome? I love when they go back and forth. Kills me, man. I love you, Rich. You know that.
Yeah, Rich is a good buddy of mine.
He's only 10 years younger than me. I was a 10-year-old uncle. I mean, I used to babysit him when I was 12, 13 years old. We had so much fun, man. I used to have him doing crazy things to impress girls when he was like 4. My sister would say, babysit, you know, and I'd meet girls down at like the boys club and the YMCA dances. Girls that lived in that neighborhood, I'd have them come over and I'd have him doing crazy things, you know.
Rich is a fun guy though.
He is.
a
He
fun
is.
guy.
Little grumpy at times, but you know, we still love you though. Daniel Fuentes wants to know, this is for you guys, do you think NXT puts on a better product than Raw? He has a follow-up question after. What do you guys think?
Yes and no. I think it's the building
Yeah.
that really, because NXT you feel like you're on top of the mat.
Yeah.
You're like kind of there. With WWE,
They're
it's
very
such,
loud,
yeah, it's
small
such
building.
large.
Yeah.
It's such a large venue. It's just a different experience. I think
Right.
both are great. I prefer SmackDown over Raw, period. But
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm starting to feel that way too.
Yeah.
you know,
But I like NXT too. I that's like, if you could only say you could only watch one, it would be NXT. Even though I love WWE, all of it, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm always gonna like those. You know, I think I told you the other day, if I really had to choose between whether I watch WWE or Chaotic Wrestling, or if
Right,
I could only
right.
follow one, I'd probably follow Chaotic
Yep.
Wrestling over WWE.
oh yeah.
So when it comes to, I like that smaller crowds. Like NXT was just in the Lowell Memorial Auditorium.
Yeah, I
I
know.
love going to see shows there.
Me too.
I like it better than going to the Garden.
Right,
It's
right.
I just like that smaller venue. And I think NXT also puts on a better show because they have the Performance Center and they're working on these matches.
Yes.
They have
and they're very hungry still because they all want to make it to WrestleMania. Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's their goal, all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't get to watch as much NXT. I do prefer SmackDown.
Yeah,
Well, I
me
try
too.
to catch up on NXT,
Yeah.
but I do enjoy the product better.
Yeah.
Yeah. for
I do
sure.
too. I think they should go to 2 hours too soon. I mean, the other night they only had 2 matches.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you need more
An
than
hour
that.
goes by very fast, as you can see when you
Right.
watch the show.
Yeah, and real quick before when you said the Lowell Auditorium, I grew up in Lowell.
Yeah.
And I've been in that building hundreds of times between the Golden Gloves, wrestling. Greatest place to see a show in Massachusetts, in my opinion,
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's not a bad seat in the house unless you have a giant in front of you.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's unreal.
Yeah. No, and you just like that. Like I love the smaller venue. Like I love going to the Woburn Elks Lodge
Yeah.
to watch
Oh, it's
chaotic.
fun.
Oh, yeah.
I prefer indie wrestling too. You
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah,
I've told
yeah.
you that a million times.
You know, there's something to be said about that smaller atmosphere. I enjoy it bigger. I mean, do I want to go to WrestleMania? Is it gonna be awesome? Yes, but still,
course.
that like
Right.
how authentic it really is with those crowds is
Right. You wanted to add something, Bobby?
I mean, I like NXT too, but like I wish I could go see NXT UK. Those
Wow,
those
yeah.
things look awesome. Like we saw that special they did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. It's
I'm saying, like,
incredible.
the wrestling is
What a
good,
show.
and not only just that they seem more hungrier than the actual NXT.
It does seem it, doesn't it?
And that the London fans over there, that does seem-
Incredible.
It's awesome.
There's a guy from London that's on the AEW roster.
Oh, really?
Jimmy Havoc.
Oh yeah, I saw
He's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Those fans are great.
They are great.
You know.
And the women's match was really good too that night.
Yeah.
All right. Daniel has a follow-up question. Also, and we're going to be talking about this in-depthly, Daniel, in a few minutes. Also, do you think AEW will be successful or a failure like WCW? Excuse me.
It's two different things. So I
Yes.
think they'll be successful because the Khan family is billions. They have $1 billion, whatever. They got a lot of money,
Right.
but they're not tied to a certain thing. Like Ted Turner and WCW were tied to the network.
Right.
So when Time Warner comes in and goes, you're generating ad revenue and your ratings are great, but the bottom line's down the train, so they're going to drop them. So
Right.
I don't think they're going to have the same situations or the big worry that WCW had because they're starting it organically. So
Right. And I don't think they're going to go head-to-head.
Yeah.
I think WCW could still be around if they ran on Tuesdays
right. There's a reason
instead of
why.
Mondays.
Right.
I think there's a lot of parallels between the two.
Yep.
I don't think WCW actually was a failure.
No, I don't think it was a
became-
complete failure either. Not completely. A little bit though at
Yeah.
the end.
So at the end, definitely it was, but for that, there was that run where it was
Couple
a very,
years.
very successful. And I mean, most of us, I grew up watching WCW in like 1991. So
Right.
I don't think WCW was a total failure. It did eventually fail.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I'd say there's a lot of similarities. It's a little bit different.
Right.
I don't know what AEW is going to be.
Right.
I really don't know what it's going to be.
Well,
you
what's
know?
great is these guys are complete. Obviously, they're wrestlers, but they love the business so much, and they're in the business, and they know what the fans want.
Right.
At least they feel like they know what the fans want.
Right.
Vince McMahon doesn't know what the fan wants because he don't listen to the fans.
Yeah.
You know, that's his problem. But you're never going to be able to beat WWE at this point. I don't care who you have or what
Yeah.
company, because they're so big and they have so much money, and it'd be pretty much impossible
Right.
to become better than them.
Yeah. It's
With the network and all the stuff they have.
it's not even close.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I think that question needs to be, how do we define what's success? What's a successful
That's a
company?
good question. Yeah.
I mean, I think Chaotic Wrestling is a very successful
Oh,
company.
for an independent company, absolutely.
I
They've been in
think-
business for a long time.
I think Ring of Honor is a very successful
Since
company.
2002.
I don't know if TNA is ever cut a profit. I think they
Right.
have, but I'd say they've been around for a long time. I mean, that's success.
Right.
So it all depends on what you think that's going to be.
Right.
I think if they're running shows, even if they're running a couple shows a year, that could be successful for that company.
Right.
You know?
I do worry that they might be biting off more they can chew. There's a reason why Double or Nothing and All In is on a Saturday night and not Sunday night. So they might go after them and they might try to go after the big fish.
Right.
They shouldn't. They should just stay away from the next 3 years. Make fun of them and
I
mean them all you
agree.
want, but stay
Yeah.
away and
Yep.
you're not ready.
Right. Because if they do start to become a threat, Vince is going to start trying to. What will happen is they'll run a show somewhere, and then he'll run a show.
Yeah.
He'll pay Austin $3 million to come back. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
outrageous money because he has it.
Yeah.
Just to shut them down, which he shouldn't do. He should be happy there's competition.
He should. Well, now it gives another place for people to, become better wrestlers.
Exactly.
And then he can come in and.
Yeah.
But the one thing you got to think about is how much can this Khan family really pay the wrestlers, because that could that's what gets me.
Yeah.
But you got to cut a profit at some
Right.
point.
Right.
So
Well, luckily, the Jaguars sell out every week. From what
Okay.
I've heard, I looked into it, and they pretty much sell out almost every single week. I'm sure they have their hands in other things,
Yeah.
Yep.
and as long as they're making money at other places, they can afford to lose a little money. I don't think they're going to lose money at first.
No.
Maybe at first because of the contracts they're giving out.
yeah.
But if they could continue to sell out 15,000 people arenas and the smaller arenas,
Yeah.
like a Songus arena, not a garden.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it's a wait and see. Daniel, thanks for the question. We're going to be talking a lot about AEW, which sounds to me that you're a big fan of. So keep watching, please. Also, Bobby, I think this is from Daniel too. Why'd you steal his girlfriend in the 8th grade? Did you even know you stole her?
No, that never happened.
Man,
And I don't know what that's.
What are you talking? Dan, you're going to have to come online and tell us
Yeah.
exactly what happened and throw Bobby under the bus.
Dan, no more Facebook rumors.
I don't think Dan had a girlfriend till his wife.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
don't
not
know.
that I know of.
Really? We got you there. All right, from your brother Mike, guys. He's got 3 good questions, too. Not that all the other ones are great, too. Don't get me wrong. Greatest superstar to never win the WWE Championship. Man, that's hard, honestly. It really is.
Yeah, I couldn't even pick just one.
Right, yeah, give a
a
couple.
I had 2 and then a dark horse.
Okay.
So my 2 are the $1 Million Man and Rowdy Piper.
Yep.
I would count like the Dragon and whatnot, but they won in WCW, so I don't feel like they're
Right.
the same. So
Yeah.
Rick Rude.
those
too,
two
yeah.
those two should have held the belt at one point. I mean, the $1 Million Man had it handed to him from Andre and Strip,
Right.
but
Right.
that doesn't
Yeah, he
count.
didn't really hold the belt. Exactly.
But my other one is Scott Hall,
Yep.
and Scott Hall held in I think it was a UFFA or whatever it is, I forget it is, the one
Yeah.
in Memphis. But I think a lot of his demons are the reasons why he couldn't ever get that belt. Couldn't
Right.
get WWE, couldn't get WCW.
Right.
And anytime we watch these talkbacks about back in the day, he always talked about, oh, I wanted to move up my position. That's why I went to WCW. Well, part of his being in that position is because of his abuse.
Yeah.
So
especially drinking.
Yeah.
He really drank a lot.
right, and if he could got that a little bit under, he might have actually moved up the card because
Yeah.
he was ready at that point.
He was a great wrestler, and that's a great point, honestly. He's definitely up there as one of the greatest wrestlers to never win a world championship. Definitely.
I think he would have eventually if he didn't leave for WCW because he
Yes.
was pretty.
I agree.
He was one of the biggest fan favorites in
Yes.
that
Everyone
company.
loved him.
I agree with what you said. I'd throw Jake the Snake in there.
Yep.
I would throw
That's a good one.
Mr. Perfect in there.
Yep.
And just for talking point here, because I think he would have eventually been a champion. There's always these rumors that Owen Hart was gonna get the WWF
Right,
title
right. I wouldn't doubt that at all.
at some point. So I mean, I guess you could put Owen in there.
Yeah,
in there
because
too.
Owen was as good as Brett, if not better, and that's true.
Yeah.
He was.
He got. I mean, he's what 34 when he died.
Yeah,
I mean,
something like that.
He could have really peaked. Who
Oh,
knows?
yeah.
I mean, there's so many what ifs about Owen Hart.
right.
So maybe he I'll put him on that list too.
I love all the
Yeah.
guys you said, so just because of that, I'm going to say somebody else. I like the Magnificent Morocco. Don
Okay.
Morocco.
Yep.
He really was good. He was a great Intercontinental champ. Everywhere he went, he always won a smaller title, you know. And I put all the guys you said, I would have put before Don Morocco. I just said Morocco because you
He's
guys
good.
said
He's
everybody
good.
else.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I like
But
that.
seriously, Scott Hall, Roddy Piper,
Piper. Yeah.
man, oh man.
I think Piper might be the one.
and Jake.
And Jake. Yeah.
Piper could get a crowd going better than anyone else.
Because he
Right.
didn't
Just-
get. Did WCW ever put the title on him? I'm trying to
No,
remember.
I don't think
No,
they
Okay.
did.
he
He
did
never-
all those,
he
he did
sure
that
he
run
did.
in
He didn't
'96
even get it
against
for like
Hogan,
a
but
s-
never went over on him.
He
Yeah.
didn't get it for like a second.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure he
Yeah.
did.
It's
If we're wrong, guys, let us know.
Yeah. I'm gonna say like if all the guys we said Piper.
Yeah.
I think Piper's number one.
Yeah. Well, Piper, and he was so good as a face or a heel. It really was, you know. I'm surprised they didn't give him the NW. Like, if he would have, they never would have came to WWE, WWF, whatever they call it, he might have got a run.
Yeah.
If he would have stayed with the Crockett's, if Crockett's didn't end up selling to Ted Turner, you know, it all depends on a lot of situations. But he was very high up on the card
Yeah.
in the Mid-Atlantic.
But if he doesn't move over, you don't have Rockin' Wrestling, whatever, that promotion
True.
that then created WrestleMania. So without
Right,
him,
right.
you really don't even have
Yep.
WrestleMania.
Right.
So-
Well, that's what they say too. They say, you know, Hulk Hogan will be the first one. You can't be the top babyface without the top heel.
Right.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
you didn't know David until he beat Goliath.
Exactly.
So,
Yes, that's a good point.
And one more, I just want to say,
Yeah.
in case people are sitting at home going, I can't believe you didn't mention this guy. Obviously, Dusty Rhodes, but we wanted
Yes.
Dusty Rhodes had a WCW
Well, that's
title.
WWE.
But he was there, so I
Right,
just want to. That's going through my head.
That's a good
Someone's
one,
going to
though.
be like Dusty.
he
You didn't
wasn't
say
there.
Dusty?
He wasn't there long enough.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
He had his run in NWA and WCW. He,
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
and
he's
if you
running.
want to go there too, how about Harley Race?
Yeah.
Harley Race,
Yeah.
you know, won
Yeah.
6 or 7 NWA World Championship.
That's true.
Yeah.
But Dusty, though, is a great pick because I love Dusty.
Oh my! I could watch the
Isn't it crazy?
Hard Times promo. I can never get sick of that.
Probably the greatest promo of all time in wrestling history. Seriously.
Yeah.
That is so good.
I loved there was a promo by Magnificent Morocco years ago. He had a podium in front of him and he started, I can't remember the exact name, but he was like, at the famed square garden of the Madison. He just changed word and it was like a preacher type thing.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it, man. I was like, as soon as he started talking, I was just mesmerized by the guy.
I have some downtime right now, so I might have to look up some of these promos.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
You know what you should do is, the wrestling podcast about nothing with Crockett and Malone.
Yeah,
you should do that, man. On it, every one of them. There's a link on the podcast.
Yeah.
If you listen, subscribe to it, and they have a promo of the day.
Okay.
So it's usually horrible promos, and then they talk about it.
Yeah.
They'll obviously you only get the audio on the podcast, but they'll tell you exactly like, oh my God, his face, he looked away, whatever. It's like you're watching it, but on the link, you can watch it. Just click the link, goes right to YouTube.
I'll check that out.
Awesome.
Is it
Those
just Sid
guys are
Vicious?
fantastic.
Is it just a whole thing about Sid Vicious? Because I feel like he'd be on it every other
Sid's
time.
in there, especially the one with
I'm not
hey,
a
we're
Sid.
live, buddy. We're live, buddy. Let me start over. We're live. Jim Ross, hey man, we're live, buddy.
Hulk Hogan, I'm just as stupid as you think I am.
Yeah, that was great. Hogan had a bad one too with Vince. Remember that one?
Yeah.
That was bad.
His promo with the Shockmaster too, like
He looked like he was like, did this guy just fall? And,
Yeah.
Oh,
That I read about that. The first time when they did it, they did a run through, and they didn't have a piece of wood on the bottom, so it went perfect. So when they remade another one, somebody obviously that guy didn't make the first one.
Yeah.
Because he put a board there.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you use a board there for drywall? It doesn't make any
Or
sense.
at least tell the guy, hey, then step up and over it.
I think if he's at the Wrestle what's New England Wrestling Fan Fest, gotta get a picture with him this year.
Oh, absolutely.
I should have last year. I gotta hold that. Oh yeah,
you guys, Bob, you gotta go with us too.
Yeah.
You guys can split a room because I'm bringing my girl with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I already told her. I said, "There's no way." I said, "Because you heard right? It's a Friday night and then a Saturday.
Oh, it's gonna
I
be
don't
good.
want to drive down there twice."
Right.
And I'll tell you though, you should probably try to. I don't think they'll take it off your card. You should probably book it soon though.
Yeah.
Because
Joe had sent me a link about stuff there.
I'm gonna do it soon. I should get my tax. I just did my taxes like a week and a half ago. As
Yeah.
soon as I get the money, I'm buying my tickets.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm probably gonna get like the VIP thing.
Yeah.
But I think like the Four Horsemen's probably extra.
Yeah.
But if you buy it all at once, then by the time comes, if you want to do the Horseman thing,
Right.
But that's another thing. Didn't Joe say to get them quick too? Because they're probably only going to be able to do so many.
I think that could possibly sell. I mean, he's got everybody but Flair and Ole Anderson really coming.
Right.
I can't believe how many people
Isn't
he
it
has
amazing?
coming.
Joe
Compared
does a great job.
from last year when we went, which was,
Yes.
I
I think that was Joe's first year back. He took a couple of
Oh,
years
did he?
hiatus.
Okay. The funniest thing about that fan fest was I got to meet J.J. Dillon, but for whatever reason, I got so starstruck to meet
Yeah.
Sean Mooney.
Yeah.
Out of all the
That's
people.
great. So what? though?
Sean,
That's good.
he was one of the first, interviewers when I started watching. And I was like, I looked, I said, I got to meet this guy.
Right.
That
Perry
was great.
Saturn was there and Jimmy Valiant. Like I just told you, Valiant
Yeah.
was one of my favorite tag teams
Yeah.
from the 70s. All right, let's get these questions and we'll get right to AEW. Mike also wants to know, will WWE ever move on from the authority-driven GM storylines? Let's hope so. That's all I'm going to say.
Do you want to start with this?
I don't know. I don't think so. They've been
Right.
going on for what? Since Austin? I mean, right?
Yeah,
'Cause, I mean,
probably. Yeah,
the authority
right
figure
around there.
started, so now we're
Just-
talking 20 years of authority figures.
Yeah, he was
Uh,
all fired up about that today too, because
Was he?
He was texting us all morning about it, and I think that's why he wrote the question. Like,
Yeah,
he's-
I don't know.
Becky Lynch, run away
I
from the
don't-
storyline.
Yeah.
I don't want Becky Lynch involved. I don't want Stephanie McMahon around this at
Right.
all. It should just be honestly Becky and Ronda.
Yep.
That sells itself.
Right.
I hope I don't know if they'll ever get rid. I think that's what they're doing in wrestling now, because I think pretty much
All the companies are trying to do something like that.
I mean, NXT, the British one, they have a authority figure.
Right.
NXT, everyone has some kind of GM. I'm assuming Ring of Honor has somebody.
I would imagine so.
I forget who it is. They do have someone that comes out like.
I think that's just a thing now.
Right. Started by Vince in the company.
Yeah.
WWE.
You know?
So is her knee really hurt? That's the thing. The only thing I can think of is that
Yeah,
she's really hurt, and that they're trying to figure out how to get out of the storyline at
Right.
Mania,
Yeah.
and then they could use this for her to sell at SummerSlam, maybe. But I don't know. I
or
don't.
just buying time.
Yeah,
'Cause,
just
you know, maybe Becky.
Well, if
doesn't
she is hurt, that's perfect to do. Like you suspend her, so the only thing she can do is come out, maybe talk. You know.
right, and they can't leave her off TV because she's the biggest thing in wrestling.
Absolutely.
You know,
Or you're going with we're not gonna have Ronda and Becky touch until
Right.
actual
Yes,
Mania,
that's how it should be.
which you know,
Really should be. They shouldn't touch each other at all.
yeah.
just let them fight on Twitter and then post it because it is hilarious.
All right, his last question. If you could take one main eventer in WWE and have them sign with AEW, who would it be and why? I love the AEW questions from
Yeah.
everybody, though.
Me personally, so I understand the question. The guys I would want to sign over there
Yeah.
are Baron Corbin and the Revival because I think they could actually get the audience really going there.
Right.
But as a main eventer, for me, it's always gonna be the Miz. I feel
Right.
like if the Miz could go there, he could tear the house down there, or
Right.
Seth Rollins. You know,
Yep.
that's
It's two good choices.
I would.
There's a bunch of good choices, just so you know. There really are.
I got a couple because I don't like where they fall on the
Yep.
on the roster right now. I like that Finn finally got to face Brock. Great. I'd love to see Finn Balor go there.
He would do so good there.
And I'd love to see Shinsuke Nakamura like, have more than what he's getting
Yep.
in WWE right now.
It's
So
two guys that's very, very, very close to those guys, too.
yeah, and I mean, at some point, their contracts have to come up. I mean,
Right.
I think it's gonna get if AEW is what we think it's gonna be.
Yep.
And they have all this money, and they're starting to. It's gonna get interesting.
Oh,
to
absolutely.
who's going to make a jump. And again, maybe none of this happens.
Yep.
But at least it's going to make Vince have to pay some people some money. He's probably
Yes.
not going to want to pay
Yes.
them. And I think the Usos are going to be one of the first people to
Jump ship.
milk him for some money. I think they're going to be the first ones because Young Bucks
good
Usos
choice.
match is a dream match.
Right.
And they're going to be saying, well, we could go do this. What are you going to pay us, Vince? You
Right.
know?
but how crazy is it to think that you're thinking Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura are WWE
Well, they're there,
main eventers,
yeah.
but they're New Japan Pro Wrestler guys
Right.
who came over.
Yeah.
So it's like they've lost that. So even Samoa Joe, you forget they use in TNA or Ring
Yep.
of Honor. It's like they're all marked WWE because they went there.
Well,
Right.
in my honest opinion, I don't want the traditional WWE guys in AEW.
Right.
No.
I want this to be an alternative
Right.
to WWE. So if I'm seeing Randy Orton in AEW, because I've even heard like Brock Lesnar might talk with
That,
them.
yeah, that was a little
And I'm
ridiculous.
like, I don't want to see Brock Lesnar in AEW.
Right. Of course not. Neither do I.
You know, I want
I
to see.
do not.
I
Not
want-
that I don't like to see him, but I
Yeah.
don't want to see him there. I
no,
don't.
I want to see guys that aren't main eventing that
Right.
should be in that company. I don't want to see Randy Orton in AEW.
Okay, that's
you know,
good.
I want to see a Finn Balor or Shinsuke or
Right.
you know. So
All right, so I just wrote down a couple guys for me if that was going to happen. I said KO, Kevin Owens,
that's another
Daniel
good one.
Bryan,
Yep.
Samoa Joe, and the Revival.
Yeah.
I do think the Revival would be good only because of how the Young Bucks and them trash them in promos and
Yeah.
stuff.
And then they stole it from them. Now it's on the back of their shirts. And
Yep.
I think I'd have to imagine. I don't know the Revival's contract with WWE, but I'd have to imagine at some point those guys are gonna say, "Hey, we made a decent amount of money. We'll see what they offer us. We go do this, and we're gonna get probably more." And again, we don't know if they're gonna have a TV contract or anything,
Right.
but we're gonna get more exposure with AEW than
Right.
maybe we've been getting in WWE.
Right.
you know, the
Yeah.
funny point is that none of us had Dean Ambrose, by the
Right.
way. And he supposedly
Yeah.
his contract's up, but no, we don't want to see him there either.
Right.
Like,
I'm not opposed, but I don't know what's going on with the Ambrose thing now. I'm scared that they're like, I'm hearing on house shows it's already booked him versus Nia Jax.
they canceled it.
Oh, did they cancel it?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, are you gonna put Nia over Dean to really just say, hey,
Yeah, come on.
You know?
Yeah, that's crazy, right? If they do that to him, honestly, I understand he's been doing the jobs on his way out the door if he is
Yeah.
leaving.
Yeah.
But yeah, they shouldn't do
I mean,
that.
we don't.
Come
I don't want to see. I mean, I'm not into the intergender stuff.
Right.
I think there's like Tessa Blanchard's done some great matches, but I don't really want to see that in WWE.
I'm not into. Honestly, I mean, I don't mind them. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if they're gonna do them, whatever you go. Let's say you're going to the show. It's gonna be done. Try to enjoy it as much as you can. But if you said to me, would you book that? Nope.
No.
If
I
you want to see
wouldn't.
that, go YouTube Andy Kaufman. You know,
Yeah.
that's what you want to
Yeah,
see.
Yep.
keep the divisions separate.
All right, guys. The AEW roster. I'm just gonna say the names real quick so everybody knows who's on it. This is the guys that have been signed to AEW. Obviously, Cody Rhodes, Brandy Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Page, Dr. Britt Baker, the dentist, Chris Jericho, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, the Bad Boy Joey Janela, and his woman Penelope Ford. Did you ever see her?
No, I have
I haven't
not.
seen her name,
God,
no.
dude, you guys got.
I'm struggling on some of these names that I
She's
went down the list.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
Oh man, seriously. Sorry, Maria. MJF, Maxwell,
So
Jacob Friedman,
very happy about that.
Pac.
Yep.
Instead of Neville, I like he's going back to his original name. Scorpio Sky, Jungle Boy, who happens to be Luke Perry from 90210, his son.
Oh, really?
What?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Phoenix, Pentagon Jr. Coming over from England, Jimmy Havoc. From from Japan. Haja Kong, who used to wrestle, for the WWE a little bit. Bear with me, guys. Yuka Sakazaki, another woman. Sunny Rose. Sunny Rose is a male wrestler who's pretty much, I guess, a transgender
Yeah,
type.
I've heard
Used
about
to
that.
wrestle as Sunny Kiss. Very talented, guys. Very, very talented. Sammy Guevara, you know him from Mexico, I think he's from.
I've maybe seen him.
Really
I'm not
good.
sure.
Kylie Ray and Nyla Rose, both two women wrestlers. And then Chuck Taylor, and Trent Beretta.
Okay.
And then real quick, they're also going to use guys from OWE, guys like SEMA and the Good Hard Stable, T-Hawk, and the rest of the names are all Japanese, and I just butcher them anyways.
Yeah.
But I do say, I tell Bobby off here, the Rascals are also part of OWE, and that's Desmond Xavier, Zachary Wentz, and Trey Miguel. All three of those guys, young guys, very talented. Guys, out of these guys right now, who would you throw that, like if they have a heavyweight tournament or whatever for the heavyweight belt, who would you have go over in that if you had to pick the guys that are already lined up?
Pac. Pac's the guy who's gonna win the belt
Great
this time.
choice.
Well, I guess that's really tough. I'd want to go with an established. Not that Neville Pac is not. He's never been my cup of tea.
Okay.
Neville, I mean, he's done some impressive things.
Right.
He's just never been my.
Okay.
I do want to see this match with Hangman Page.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega just won off of winning the New Japan title, and I think he would have gone to have a very lengthy reign if this hadn't come up.
Right.
And I think that Omega is probably the biggest star
Yep.
as far as like non-WWE wrestlers are concerned right now. So I just thought I'd say it's a no-brainer to put it on Omega.
Okay.
My worry though is, and it has to do with Omega and these guys, is that they're all executive vice presidents.
Right.
You need to establish stars because you're only going to get a certain amount of the population to order for the Young Bucks and Omega and whatnot. They need to start developing this talent. So like, one thing I would tell them is don't go signing all the WWE guys either and start making these other guys. I think Pac is a guy you can elevate up and then have Hangman Page chase him.
Yeah.
So that you could say, okay, he goes over and then you build him up to
Right.
a big moment in the next one or whatever it is.
Yeah, I guess just for namesake, because you got to start drawing in more at some point. Well, I don't know. They're obviously only going after one part of the audience,
Right.
which is the diehard wrestling
Yep.
fans.
Guys like us,
Yeah.
not TV fans.
You know, your casual fan probably doesn't care all that much about this.
Right.
I guess I'd say, I mean, they'll probably surprise us. I mean, maybe this is the chance that Hangman Page gets. I don't think he's never held a world title. I guess if it was just an easy way to put it, I'd say just put it on Omega or Cody, but maybe you could have it a little more complicated.
Right.
than
And
that.
that's the thing, like Bobby said, that, because they're executive producers, I don't know if the fans will, you know what I mean? Kind of be like, why'd you do that? It's like
Right.
the obvious choice, but it would be a good choice. Cody, Kenny Omega, Pac. It also would make sense for Chris Jericho to be the champion.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
saying, only because, like you said, you need an established star. I'm not saying that they definitely will or anything. I'm just saying throw it like you guys. Cody, Omega, Pac, Jericho. I wouldn't mind seeing Christopher Daniels get another run as a world champion. I'm a huge Daniels fan. Frankie Kazarian's never been, and he's really talented. They have a lot of talent on this roster. They could SEMA. From what I heard, SEMA's going to wrestle with them guys more than the rest of them. The OWE guys will come over, but SEMA pretty much is what I heard is not signed, but they're going to use him more than any of the other guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, that's really gonna be these decisions are gonna be tough decisions for them to make.
And they only have a few women signed now. As of right now, well, they have 5. Because 6. Brandy Rhodes, Britt Baker, Oh, no, more than that, because they got Penelope Ford.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Aja Kong, Yuka Sakazaki, and Kylie Ray and Nyla Rose. You guys ever see Nyla Rose wrestle? Me and
No.
Pat Dillon went up to New Jersey for I think it was Drop Kick Depression.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was this girl put on a show and it was a charity show for the company or whatever you want to call it, Drop Kick for Depression. And Nyla Rose was on that show, and she's good. She's a big girl, she's big like Nia Jax, but not big that way. She's like thick,
Yeah.
but she's not.
Wait.
Like,
Did she ever
Nia's
come to? She never came to Chaotic, did she?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't
all right,
think
all
so.
right, okay.
But she's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
She's a good sized girl. She can move pretty good. Penelope Ford, like I was saying earlier, is absolutely drop dead gorgeous, and she can work.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that these guys could do. Who else? Like out of indie guys, New England indie guys. Who would you like to see working for AEW? Can I just say one thing? The guy that was here last week, Kevin Quinn, I'd love to see him refereeing for AEW.
I think that's why I asked that question.
Yep.
I was like, well, you ref for Cody. You got to have some
Right.
kind of rapport with
He
him.
does.
You know?
Yep.
I think Quinn would be great to see there as a ref. I think JT Dunn deserves a
Yeah.
shot in this
He'd look
kind
good
of
in there.
company.
Yep.
He was on being the
He's on being the lead all the time. Every time Cody
Yeah.
or these guys invades in the Northeast, he's there. He's
Yeah.
the one that's they're attacking.
I mean, I think a guy like him, I never understood why hasn't been with Ring of Honor.
Right.
I mean, I'd love to see Christian Casanova there.
Yep.
He made that
Um,
joke on the Chaotic thing. Did you see that? They posted a link and the other two guys are going at it about how like they got the tag team title shot. And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna call Cody and go to AEW." It's like,
Was that what Christian and
Christian Casanova was
and
making
Royce
that
Bishop?
Yeah. He was
So
making
who
that joke.
said he was going to go AEW? Christian?
Casanova.
Nice.
So,
I mean, and I'd love to, obviously, because we're all big fans. I'd love to see AG there.
I was just going to say, yep.
I mean,
Of course.
I don't know how Cody's gonna, or I guess not just Cody, the Young Bucks,
Right,
and
all of them.
how they're gonna decide. But I mean, there's definitely some New England guys, but obviously they probably have a better grip on what's going on across the
Right.
country as well.
But those three guys you guys just named is right on the money. Anybody else that you'd like to see there?
Josh Briggs at some point.
Yes. I
mean-
love that. Briggs too, yep. There's a lot of talented guys around here. I mean, even guys that aren't even wrestling that much anymore. Like guys like Mikey Webb.
yeah.
You know, he's gone now. I don't know why, but like he was gone before, then he came back.
Yep.
And he's so talented. And it's like, where are you, dude? And I haven't heard that he's injured. Maybe he is.
I think it's just hard to be an independent professional wrestler,
Right.
and main because you have to still have a regular. I think there's a few exceptions because I think some guys they're able to just be wrestlers.
Right.
They get booked enough, but like you look at Mark Sherman, he's been gone for a while.
Yep.
I mean, he must have just come to the conclusion, I can't keep doing this.
Right.
You know, so it might just be harder. But yeah, I think Mikey Webb is very talented.
Yep. Who, Mike Verna?
I think Mike Verna would
Who else
probably
did
be.
you say?
Oh, you were saying Mikey Webb, but
Yeah.
I think Verna, yeah, definitely Verna
Right.
could be there.
Julian Starr many years ago. That
Oh,
was-
yeah.
he
Yes.
was
He
great.
didn't get hurt, so.
Yep. He is fantastic, man.
I think I'm trying to think here. Oh well, the other thing I was going to say was, I mean, it's cool that MJF is there because
Yeah.
he would be a perfect second tier champion
Yes.
in that
I
company.
agree. You know who I'd like to see over there too? Davey Ann.
Yeah, she could maybe have a
She's
chance.
really good. She is, she hasn't wrestled in Chaotic for a while, huh?
Yeah, I'm wondering where she's
Yeah.
probably taking.
Right.
Time off.
You know,
And
or
you won't see like Eddie Edwards or Alicia Edwards because they're with
TNA.
Impact,
hopefully, I mean, how long can that contract be?
Right. But I'm trying to think of other women around here, you know what I mean? Luscious Latasha's really good.
Yeah.
She's going to be wrestling at Lucky Pro in a couple weeks. Matter of fact, I wanted to bring that up to you guys.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys want to go to Lucky Pro in like 2 weeks?
Yeah, I've never
They're
been
coming
to
back.
Pro.
Awesome show. Seriously.
Yeah.
Great talent, man. And the guys that run it are fantastic. Love those guys.
Yeah.
Chris Sullivan, Jim Burgoyne, Tony S., Tony Aurelio. Just a lot of good people at that company.
I'd like to. There's another show I want to go to because Jeff Jarrett's coming.
Oh, that's on New England All-Star Wrestling.
Yeah, I'd like to go see that.
Is that this weekend?
I think it's in March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good show.
Yeah.
Now, Sonny knows the dudes that are running that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think he told me, and I forget who he told me was running, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I went and I didn't do it because they wouldn't let food come into the building, but I went to the same building when House of Hardcore came.
Yep.
Just so you guys know, it's a long ride to that building, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-hour drive to
that's a-
Danvers.
Oh, that should be fun. We'll have to go. Maybe the
No, I
night.
don't, was it Danvers? I think it was Danvers.
The one thing I was also going to bring up tonight. So Chaotic has another big announcement tonight at 8:00.
I
Yeah.
saw that. I wonder what that's going to be.
I guess it's around Cold Fury. But what did you think of the WrestleMania weekend show?
I think that's fantastic that they're doing that. It's about time a New England company jumped on that.
Yeah.
So many companies have been doing that. They've been going to Florida or Texas, and running shows and making money. There's absolutely no way to not have a sellout, even if there's other shows running.
People are looking for
because
something
they
to do.
want to go to that show and it's sold out. They're just gonna go to the other one
Yeah.
Right.
because
And
they want to go to a show.
and Access is going to sell out. So, you're in that middle lull. And
Right.
And I forget when Becky Lynch is going. She's on Saturday, one of the Accesses. I don't think she's in the middle.
Yeah, we're looking to go to the Chaotic. I obviously want to support that.
Depending on who's.
But my
gonna
brother
be
Mike
there.
he's such a big Miz fan, and it'd be really tough.
Miz
to-
is on Friday night. So,
See,
Oh, is it on
that's
Friday?
Yeah,
good.
so,
that's good.
So then I'm going to. Then we should go. I'm going to Chaotic.
Chaotic tonight. It's going to be a good show, man. I would love to see them pull out a couple of guys that haven't wrestled for Chaotic. You know what I mean? Some of the alumni.
Well, I would.
Arch Kincaid, or you know what I mean?
Oh,
Just a
yeah.
bunch of, just a couple. Sherman, Preston.
That'd be
I just
great.
think that would be awesome.
Well-
Or use guys that live down there that have wrestled like this. For instance, I don't know. I think he can still do indie. Kevin Matthews.
Yeah.
He used to wrestle for Chaotic years ago. Him and John Walters are like this.
Okay.
That's how they met.
I wouldn't be surprised because Fury had posted like anything can happen. Now
Yep.
NXT is on a Friday night.
right. Yep.
You got Ciampa, you got Dijak
Yeah.
down there, you got Hanson.
Yeah.
You got to wonder, are these guys gonna be like, hey, I'll make a small little appearance?
Right.
I'm assuming that's not a big deal because
I don't think they'll be able to wrestle.
no, but
they'll
show
be
up.
able to make an appearance. I
Yeah.
agree. That could really happen.
Could you imagine with the amount of heat that Tommaso Ciampa has
yeah.
right now to show up at a random Chaotic show?
Yeah, and run
Or-
everybody down how
it-
much they suck. They're
Oh,
nothing like him, how great he is.
Yeah.
He learned nothing there. He didn't
Yeah.
learn until he left.
Yeah.
That's
You
if he
know?
doesn't drop the belt the night before. So,
Yeah, I mean,
no, you're right.
he
Yeah,
might not.
that could always
He
happen.
might not be champion by then, but I mean, he
Right.
still has just so much
Oh,
going
yeah.
for him.
He should be champion up until that point, at
Right, right.
least.
Yeah,
And what I like is how they're doing it with Connor's Cure,
Yeah.
that's really
which
cool.
WWE's does too. And I don't know if you guys
That's
know
probably
this.
how they get around it, too.
Right, and Fury, I don't know if you guys had heard this because he didn't really announce it.
Yeah.
He went down recently again
Oh, yeah.
and was a guest trainer at the Performance Center. That's twice. They don't always bring back people,
Oh.
and they brought him back twice now.
He's got a track record of
Exactly.
that has to be.
Yep.
If you look at the NXT roster, or even. You get Sasha, and then the other ones. He's producing, and not even if you're just looking at WWE,
Right.
but just like some of because I've been watching Chaotic for about 6 years,
years, yeah.
7 years, and I've watched the progression of some of his students, like a Casanova,
Yep.
where I remember he came
AG.
in. I remember these guys coming in going like, okay,
Right.
and then you watch them progress, and you're like,
Yep.
wow,
Yeah.
Like Donovan Dijak. Like the first time I met Donovan Dijak, he was getting me a chair for the,
Yeah.
for the seating on the floor.
I never forget
Wow.
that story. We were at the Lowell PAV. We'd only been going to Chaotic for about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
I love the PAV, by the way.
Yeah.
They crammed you
Oh, I
in there.
loved it too.
But walk in, there's, I didn't understand how the ring crew worked yet, but you got this tall giant of a
Giant
guy.
guy.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, is there any more chairs? And he's like, yeah, I got you guys. I'm like, I looked at my brother, like, this guy's got to be trained to be a wrestler.
Right,
You're like,
right.
this guy's gonna make it.
And,
Didn't even
I didn't see him wrestle.
yet.
he opens up the
That's
door. He
awesome.
opens up the door. He's like, you got to be kidding me. Turns around, he's like, there's no chairs. Up, let me see if I can find it. And I think he eventually did walk her, and that's how nice of a guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He went around and eventually found his chairs. He didn't need to do that.
Nah, he's awesome.
And that was like, all right, I was like, yeah. And then a couple months later, they from what I remember, I think they put him right with Malonis pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because I think they knew they
Yeah, he
had
came in and
something.
squashed people, and we started doing the Ryback chants at him. And then
Yeah.
we're like, oh, he's nowhere. He just happened to look and act
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Ryback. But then when he got to the Malonis stuff, going to that Cold Fury that year, that's when we really.
Well, no, he feuded with Malonis even before that Cold Fury. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
they can't. So he was when they first feuded, he was the heel, saying he was the new monster. He's
Yeah.
the real monster of chaotic
Right.
wrestling. And then a few Cold Furies later, it flipped Malonis.
Right.
And Malonis cut this promo one time where he's got Dijak in the ropes. He's kicking him. He's beating him.
Yeah.
He's pointing to Dijak's wife. He's like, you know what? One day they're going to be seeing you on Monday Night Raw, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? And it's something along the line, but I'm kicking your ass right now. And like,
Nice.
it was like, when Malonis is heel,
Yeah.
he
best.
turns it on.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah. When he was sitting here, like, as a guest with me and Derek,
yeah,
he didn't look so, like, imposing.
yeah,
But you put his, like, when he puts his wrestling gear on, he looks a lot different. Man.
Yeah.
yeah.
You
And
know,
he moves
scary.
really well for a big
Very,
man. Like,
very well for a big man. And that's another thing. I wanted to bring that up. I had it just if we didn't run out of now that I know we can cover it. You guys must have been just as excited for me to see him sign the Ring of Honor contract, right?
Yeah, I'm trying. So what's the exact? He can still do indie shows.
I can tell you everything because he said it today on the podcast.
All right, yeah.
He can do indie shows. The only thing he can't do is be taped and have shown.
Okay.
You know, like I'm not positive if, like, I'm sure most shows are taped.
Yeah.
It can't be on television.
oh, okay.
Okay.
You
Makes
know what I
sense.
mean?
Yeah.
That's the only restriction that I guess he has. He was saying it today that he can still wrestle for independent companies,
Great.
but if Ring of Honor's got a show,
Gotta go.
He's gonna go.
that's where he goes.
So
to
it's
work.
more like they're not just booking him per appearance. They're saying
Right.
you're on the
That's
on the
how
official.
it was before.
Got it. I would say that he is very well deserving.
Absolutely,
Of that.
absolutely. I'm a better fan of his for a long time. When he was on Brian Buffet.
Oh,
That's a long time when they were running shows. George Carl was running shows in Quincy at like the Elks or something like that, or one of the lodges type, you know, American Legion or something. And he was Brian Buffet.
our first run, I think, with Malonis was the time we went to Millennium,
MWF, yeah. That
and
was,
X-Pac was going to be. It was, we were supposed to meet Paul Bear.
MWF were good shows too.
Yeah.
Supposed to meet Paul Bear that weekend, but he had passed away,
yeah.
and he was going to do an appearance at the Kowloon. But Brian Malonis was there, and there was a bunch of other guys with him. You know,
Hanson was there. That's when
Yep.
the first time he had this triple threat match. These three guys just
And-
tore the house down.
and no, but the main event. Remember, they beat down Carlito.
Yeah.
And John Cena Senior is coming out. I'd never seen him cut a promo. And he starts tearing down the crowd, and he's like, "It's all about the money." And he's throwing out money with his face on
I
it.
have a whole bunch of the kids here because he did that all the time. And
Yeah.
I bet you I was at them shows. I used to sell my merchandise at the
Oh,
MWF
you-
shows.
It was I want 2013. Lashley was there, Carlito was there,
Yeah.
X-Pac was. But that was the first time we saw Malonis. I think that's really what led to us finding.
Chaotic.
Chaotic.
Yeah.
You know.
Malone, I'm a huge fan of Malone's, honestly.
Yeah.
He said it the other day on the podcast, like it was last week. I got brought up again, you know. And it's nice, they say nice things, but Malone's like, I think I've known Leo almost as long as my career, and he's right. You know,
Yeah.
I used to go to shows when he first started all the time, man. I was at all the shows. Chaotic, NEW, MWF. I went to a lot of shows. Then I just stopped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I stopped, and now, me and you go to shows. My buddy, used to go with Daryl a little bit, Dave, my buddy Dave. I had tickets for Saturday night, guys,
Oh yeah.
and I had to sell my ticket because the mother of my kids decided to not ask me first when she booked my son the 30th birthday party. Which is
yeah.
fine, Robert. I'm just teasing you. So I had to sell my ticket.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it bummed me out, and only because all the guys from around here were going to be there.
Yeah.
Ciampa, Warbeard, Dijak opened the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I kind of wish you would have had the party on Friday or the following
Yeah.
Saturday. Can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So, but it was a fun party.
Yeah.
My son turned 30.
Nice.
He got shit faced. You know?
Yeah.
You know what's funny with the NXT thing that you bring up now is that we were talking about which one's a better show. I bought tickets to Raw, not NXT, and that was the difference. Like I couldn't afford both,
Right.
and I'm going to the big show. So Fuentes, if you were asking again, that's why
Well,
Raw is always gonna be better.
Yeah,
than-
we didn't. I mean, we are going to, with Mania coming up. I kind of was like, and the surgery. It was
Right.
like this.
we didn't know that was gonna happen.
This
Yeah.
isn't happening.
Right.
But the last time I went to NXT was, it's
Yeah,
a good time.
great.
And I'll go the next time that they come.
Right. I went to the first one when Samoa Joe won the title.
But I was
That
driving.
was awesome.
I was driving to Florida that night, and I saw it on Facebook, and I went, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, and I had
No, I
met
gotta be
Joe.
careful.
I don't know him great or anything, but like,
Yeah.
it's just like he's always was so nice. And look at size, when I catered, he ate, he'd come
Yeah.
through 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
missed that show.
that's 2 times that Joe's won world titles in
Yep.
Lowell.
Yes, lockdown. I went to. Did you guys
Didn't-
go to
Nope.
that?
I was in college and I couldn't get down to
I
Lowell.
was going to ask if you went to the fan fest that they had the
No.
day before or that day. I took Jai's there. I have some awesome pictures.
Yeah.
Dixie Carter, she came back a second time just so she could hold him. Swear to God, she came back and she's like, I want to hold him again. Can I hold him? I'm like, absolutely. And that was, like I said, that was probably 2005, right? Or something
2008.
Was it 2008 when Joe won the title. And she was looking pretty damn good.
From what I understand, like business-wise, not great, but I heard she's just a really
Really
nice
good
person.
Yeah, and something, just from my little experience of, talking to her, she really was,
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun, man. They all were the Homicide, LAX, him and Hernandez, Shelly Martinez was with them at the time. Everybody was there.
We went to Slammiversary
Oh,
in 2013.
Oh, yeah?
Who did
Was
we
that
run-
in Lowell?
In Boston.
It was in
Okay.
Boston.
By BU. Remember who we ran into at the bar?
The cowboy guy was his name.
East Coast Cowboy
East Coast
was
Cowboy.
with Rich Palomino. I didn't know. We'd only been fans for, and I was like, I'm already like, I've had a few. I'm like Rich Palomino, and at one point, I don't know if you remember Dan Tanaka.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was
of course. Dan's a great guy.
So
I got him on Facebook.
We used
Love Dan.
to always chant for Dan Tanaka.
Yep.
He was like the Kevin Quinn before Kevin Quinn.
Right. He's a great ref.
in fact,
no doubt.
the fans caught it, like the Sherman Maniacs used to always cheer for him, and what happened was the audience started, like, every time Dan Tanaka would be out there, to go crazy. Finally, they turned him heel as a referee.
Yeah.
But I remember we walk into this bar, I see Dan Tanaka with his wife, and I'm just like, I'm walking in the bathroom, I go, Dan Tanaka! And he's like, yeah. I shake his hand, I'm like, you're the man. His wife's just like,
He moved out to Michigan. He's living in Michigan. That's why you don't see him. And he's been reffing there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He said, you had him on Facebook?
I could.
Go through if you don't, go
Yeah.
through my friends list. He'll accept you. Dan's a great guy. I
Yeah.
love Dan.
Oh, yeah. He was
Great ref.
He was my favorite ref.
With that long ass
Yeah.
ponytail.
I think he
Good
turned. Who did he turn on?
Sherman.
And there was like, was it the time that Rich got kicked out of Chaotic for a little bit?
Yeah, it was a whole.
Yeah.
You could do a whole show on that.
I could talk.
Whole,
Well, next
storyline.
time we come back, we'll do that because I'm
Yeah.
going to have you guys on again. I'll show you some dates later.
All right.
Guys, I want to thanks for coming
Yeah.
on.
Thanks
Thanks
for having us.
Bobby, thanks for coming on. How many times you been on now? 5 or 6?
I
Somewhere
think
around
I think
there,
this is 5.
5?
Yeah.
So, boy, we're going to have to get you on. Without him, you can catch up.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys, thank you so much. Can't wait to see what happens, with AEW.
Exciting
Yep.
times.
Guys, thanks a lot. Please like, share, and subscribe. We're out.
Love you, Mom.
Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.